In 1844, a British woman proposed to establish the first modern all-female school in China, in the port city of Ningbo. She offered free education and even provided subsidies. However, rumors quickly spread that she intended to harm Chinese girls by removing their black pupils. The city's inhabitants fearfully observed her skin color, ominously referred to her as a Ningbo Witch. The 18th century China, under the rule of Qing Dynasty, was a period fraught with crisis. As the European nation progressed into the capitalist era, the declining Qing Dynasty compromised the China's right to modernization. Yet, the forced intrusion of Western nations into China during the Qing rule not only impacted the China's right to preserve its Asian civilization, but also, to some extent, played a pivotal role in promoting the spread of Chinese civilization abroad and the education of its people, taking on certain responsibilities. In June 1840, the Opium War broke out, following the defeat of the Qing government. The Treaty of Nanjing was signed with Britain in 1842. The Qing government was compelled to open 5 ports to British trade: Guangzhou, Fuzhou, Xiamen, Ningbo, and Shanghai. These 5 port cities later became crucial nodes and channels for crucial exchange between China and the West. However, after the end of the Opium War, the Qing government also signed a Treaty of Waipo with France, which stipulated that French nationals could establish schools in the port cities. French nationals gained the right to open modern schools in these 5 trading ports. After the defeat in the Second Opium War in 1860, the Treaty of Nanjing stipulated that British, French, American, and Russian nationals could travel in China and establish schools. Under the duress of these treaties, Westerners gained the right to develop modern schools and the responsibility of contributing to China's modernization inadvertently fell upon the Anglo-Chinese College. In fact, as early as 1818, the British man Morrison founded the earliest college in Malacca specifically for educating those who would spread knowledge in China, the Anglo-Chinese College. Initially, the college was established with the sole purpose of disseminating Western civilization. However, in 1833, the missionary Dyer established a foundry for casting Chinese movable type in Malacca's mission station. This initiative reflected his realization that, while the West had the opportunity to export its civilization, it also bore responsibility to learn from, reference, and promote Asian Chinese civilization. As a vital overseas exchange point between China and Britain, the mission embodies the mutual enrichment of both cultures. This facilitated the casting of metal movable types. During the period, the college became a central hub for Sino-British translation and printing services. Advanced printing technology enhanced the spread of Chinese culture and increased the local literacy rates. The germination of modern schools overseas actively took on responsibility of spreading Chinese culture and improving local education level. It's worth noting that Anglo-Chinese College also cooperated with local monasteries due to the poverty and helplessness in China under the long-term rule of the Qing government in the 18th century. Many Chinese people were smuggled and trafficked to Southeast Asian countries, including many young Chinese girls who were sold to brothels in Singapore or sold as domestic servants. Another important purpose of Anglo-Chinese College was to provide refuge for women rescued from prostitution and forced marriages. The college not only realized the right to redemption in Western civilization thinking, but also fulfilled with the responsibility of promoting the empowerment of Chinese women. After the First Opium War, this British woman came to Ningbo with her ideals and aspirations, wanting to fulfill a long-held conviction. The British lady was named Elster, and her Chinese teacher, Morrison, had also studied in China. He told her that Chinese girls still bound their feet and had no equal right to education. Eager to promote female education, she underestimated the challenge of introducing such concepts in a nation with a rich historical and cultural heritage. Chinese society, enriched in Confucian philosophy, believed that women did not need school education and could not even imagine attending a school run by foreigners. Traditional thinking shackled her realization of women's rights to education and responsibility, and people tried to maintain their traditional way of life clashes violently with elders' rights to develop modern schools. That year, Ningbo was still full of women with bond faith. One could imagine how Alice's move to establish a female school would cause sensation at the time. For a while, all sorts of rumors spread throughout the streets and alleys of Ningbo, claiming that Elster, the old witch, would kill children and their parents, and even eat the children, despite her house being frequently assaulted and local officials causing her trouble. Elster remained steadfast in her mission, offering medical aid, distributing porridge, and assisting Chinese women without charge. She not only recruited female teachers, but even hired a blind girl named Agnes to start classes for blind children. This was unheard of China at the time, but Elster still faithfully bore the responsibility of empowering Chinese women, especially vulnerable women. To encourage Ningbo girls to attend school, she made a bold decision. Not only there will be no tuition fees, but we will also provide for student clothing, food, and living expenses. Eventually, Elster's school gained immense popularity, attracting so many students that it was often described as overcrowded. In 1845, there were 15 students, which increased to 23 the following year, and by fourth year, it had significantly increased to 46. Additionally, Hu Youyu, the first Chinese Nobel laureate in medicine, graduated from this school. Today, various institutions that originated from modern schools are thriving across China, branching out from earliest in Guangzhou, Xiamen, Fujian, Ningbo, Shanghai, Beijing, to Wuhan, Changsha, Tianjin, Nanjing, Hangzhou, and finally to Zhenzhou, Taiyuan, Shijiazhuang. These schools have opened unprecedented doors for Chinese youth, especially women. Among them, the development of Hangzhou's Hongdao Girls' Middle School, established in 1912, shows the vigorous potential of development of women's education in China. In addition to traditional culture courses, Hongdao Girls' Middle School also includes mathematics, history, geography, chemistry, and physical health as required subjects. At the beginning of its establishment, Hongdao Girls' Middle School also built a gym, basketball courts, at the time when women were closed off and not supposed to participate in sports. Hongdao Girls' Middle School was also the first school in Hangzhou to offer women's physical health classes in an era when fatal thoughts about women had not yet broken. The practice of Hongdao Girls' Middle School undoubtedly challenged the traditional status of women. This progress is astonishing, but we find that the principal of Hongdao Girls' Middle School is also Chinese woman. Perhaps this progress reflects the continuous realization of Chinese women's rights and the history of modern school actively taking responsibility. Despite clash between Chinese and Western culture, their convergence led to flourishing of the Chinese culture export advancement in women's educating within China. Right and responsibility in the history of modern school development were not in conflict, but perfectly integrated. Morrison, Elster, Jojo, and other founders and promoters of modern school have also given new vitality to ancient China and witnessed participated in the process of Chinese people achieving modernization in the historical tide of 19th century.